the Baltimore defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale.
Wink Martindale? Yeah, Don Martindale.
Yes.
Wink, that's my boy.
He said that Patrick Mahomes is underpaid. Do you buy that Mahomes, who's got a huge contract, the biggest contract in football, you think he's underpaid?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because, listen, obviously not literally, but I think Wink's point is you can't pay a guy like that enough. You can't pay somebody like that enough money. And I get why he says that. But just think about how he affects not just the offense, but the entire team. Not just the team's construction, but the overall effectiveness and functioning of the team. He makes everybody's job on his side easier, everybody's job on the other side harder. He affects legacies. He affects bottom lines. He affects the league. I mean, look, if you want to really get deep on it,
let's get deep.
Roger Goodell was moved in the offseason. He was moved in the offseason, and that's interesting because Watson signed a shorter deal. Let's keep in mind Mahomes' deal was for 10 years. But nonetheless, Roger Goodell, a commissioner of the NFL, who last year said, our fans want players to stand for the national anthem, who acted on behalf of the owners when it came to suppressing player, quote-unquote, protests during the national anthem.
Right.
He was moved to proclaim that Black Lives Matter in response to a video that featured Patrick Mahomes and others, but the face of his league called him out in that video. So that's just on some next level stuff in terms of his impact. But just as a player, whether it's your offensive line, whether it's your wide receivers, whether it's your running back, whether it's how you allocate resources on your roster if you're Andy Reid in that organization. On the other side, I mean, how do you defend a dude that's every bit as capable as converting a 3rd and 25 with his arm as he is his legs? You know, he has the potential to be a transcendent performer. And we talked about it when he turned 25 years old. He could end up going down when it's all said and done, when you combine the start that he's off to, his potential, his talent, his approach, his circumstances, which are super important. When you combine all of that, he has the potential to go down as the best ever when it's all said and done. And so,
yeah, I love
and obviously no lead is safe. No lead is safe when you're playing against them. Yeah, ask the networks. Hell, ask ESPN. Ask the networks how much Patrick Mahomes is worth, putting him on in prime time.
Yeah, he's that guy. He's that guy. You know, you want to see whatever he's doing, you want to know what Patrick Mahomes is up to. But now I will say this. Look, part of a coordinator's job or a head coach's job, the smart ones, just blow kisses. Blow kisses at the opponent before the game. And he's good at that. So you got to do that. And, of course, you say he's underpaid. I pay him anything. He's unbelievable. But just to bring it back a little bit, you look at all those numbers up there. We had that great chart of the top contracts. And, of course, Mahomes is at the top of the list. But it is a salary cap league. And right now it's good. Right now, okay, look at these names. A couple of them go, oh, boy. Matt Ryan, they probably could spend a little more money on defense. We'll talk about that later. Stafford, Wentz, Derek Carr, I don't know. But the salary cap league, eventually you're going to have to make some tough decisions about who you pay. And so right now, they're defending Super Bowl champs, and you say, oh, good, yeah, pay Patrick Mahomes anything. Eventually, you're going to have to make some tough decisions. That's all I'll say. That's my only quibble.
Well, it's funny you say that. All right, let's flip into franchise mode then, shall we? Let's go into franchise
mode. Franchise mode, who?
Because a lot of people like to say, well, you know, if you build a great team, do you have to have a great quarterback? And you know who asked themselves that question? You know who approached it? Oh, look at that. Look how we fancy with it. Yeah. Run that again. I almost cussed. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. New segment.
Franchise mode.
Who this? No,
franchise mode.
Listen. And I wouldn't even franchise mode the Chiefs. I would not franchise mode the Chiefs because it's too easy. You got Patrick Mahomes. He covers up for a lot. I'll make tough decisions if I have to when it comes to the cap. That's what I was about to say. The people who ask themselves, well, do we really need a special quarterback? Or can we that's the people that don't have one. That's the people that don't have one. I guarantee you the people trying to build a team around a quarterback would trade places with Kansas City because it makes your job that much easier. They trade places with, people used to say the same thing about Peyton Manning back in the day. Oh, the defense is suffering, this, that, and the other. Like, no, they got Peyton Manning. I'll take that trade-off. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yes, you can if you have, obviously the quarterback needs a supporting cast. And I get the logic of, well, hey, if you're paying the quarterback too much and your offensive line ends up suffering or your defense, you can't keep your players, that's all well and good. Then you know what? Keep drafting. Keep replenishing. That's a first world problem is what I'm getting at. So if I'm building a franchise and I can't find a Patrick Mahomes, then yes, the alternative is to do the best you can at that position and support him elsewhere. But if I got Patrick Mahomes, I'm happy to pay him because you know what they say about GMs? Either you got a quarterback or you're looking for one.
Oh, and we'll talk about that today because there are a lot of situations on the table where we got to talk about the quarterback situation. But I'll say this: I agree with you. Ultimately, if you have a franchise quarterback, there are worse places to be. Of course, you want to have one of the top quarterbacks in football, but this is where we disagree. It's hard to franchise mode the Chiefs after winning the championship because now you're starting to think, how long do I keep it going? Because what you want to do is really what they did in the offseason. You think about what they did in the offseason. They didn't just sign Patrick Mahomes. They ran it back. Everybody got paid from Kansas City, and that's what you do when you win it. And that's a very sentimental, usually a wrong-headed move to make. At some point, you got to say, look, we won the Super Bowl. Yeah, we won the Super Bowl. We got to hold on to Mahomes. But they paid everybody. I mean, they paid Jones. They paid Watkins.
They will. Yeah, but they were all smart. I mean, they were smart. I mean, you had to re-sign Travis Kelce. You had to pay Chris Jones. I mean, but well-run organizations will ultimately make tough decisions. All I'm saying is when you got a guy like that, you have a chance every game and every year. You got a chance to be there at the end. You know the Chiefs are going to be a factor for as long as he's playing. Simply put, no matter who is around him, he's going to elevate them, and they're going to go deep into the playoffs.
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think that, like, they should.
You don't think that about Patrick Mahomes?
No, I don't think that about no, because history doesn't support what you just said. I mean, that doesn't happen with every great quarterback. Every great quarterback is not in contention going. Not really.
Most of the great quarterbacks do not miss the playoffs, barring some unforeseen circumstances. Most of the great quarterbacks, they may not win the Super Bowl every year. It may not be everybody's birthright like it is Tom Brady's for the last few years. They've been in a conference championship game the way it was in New England. Right. But for the most part, a great quarterback like Mahomes, you're not missing the playoffs. You may not win it every year, but you're not missing it. You're there. You're in contention. All I'm saying is you're in contention. And you can't put a price tag on it.
I guess I just held on to deep into the playoffs.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.